Hello everybody, welcome to the Deep End Jitters podcast. Today I'll be your host Jaden. Along with...
What's good, boys? My name's Jake.
And today we will be talking about the fact that this is our first episode ever. Hey, who are you?
I'm Cam. I'm the third host of Deep End Jitters podcast, and I'm glad to work with you guys.
I'm not.
I don't shake hand with people like you.
I
dab them up. I don't shake their hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And yes, I wear glasses.
I represent EDP.
Yes, all three of us. Yeah, EDP, the EDP situation. We don't.
I don't shake people's hands.
Or high five. We don't.
Or fist bump at that matter. It's just like you fist bump and it just ruins it, you know.
Yeah, it's EDP's fault.
All right then.
It's like demonetized video.
So I'm gonna say the N word.
So like.
No. Anyways, welcome to our podcast. This is the first episode. We have no idea what we're doing. We're just kind of just here to have a good time, you know. So let's hope that this actually ends up pretty well, because this is gonna be so much fun. And today on this first episode, we're gonna be talking about our least favorite subject: relationships. Women. Yeah, women. Relationships. The most confusing things in the world. So, girls, they exist.
Yes.
Actual.
I didn't know that for like 4 years.
Yep.
What?
And you know what sucks a lot more? When you're lesbians.
Well, no, it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just
No,
when you're talking.
lesbians is not a bad thing.
It's
When you're talking to them, and they shut you down
for like 4 months, and then you ask them out, they're like, oh yeah.
Right, but actual, like, you gotta know that they're lesbian.
Yeah, that's what hurts. If you're talking to a dude and like you're consistently flirting with each other, just make sure to tell him he's a lesbian, because otherwise it's
Wait,
over
dude.
for all of us.
You said a dude.
Can't assume genders anymore.
Can't sue genders. What if she's a dude?
Well, because there's
Technically, biologically, if you're born with a vagina and a pair of breasts, unless you're 200 pounds on a man and you have man boobs, so
not sure you can. Just the way you say it.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
if you're born biologically a woman, you will always be a woman.
You're a
You
woman.
just assume yourself here as a
Well,
man.
you don't need.
We're not talking about politics here.
Yep, right. Nothing about that. It's just how. It's not even political. It's just biology.
It's just biology.
It's biology.
It's biology, people. Anyway.
Anyways,
I woke up and chose
Right.
violence.
So wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Deep ended it, everybody.
Deep End podcast.
Deep End Jitters podcast. No, it's actually really funny because the email for this podcast, it acts as gender, and we had the option to do other. And there's 3 of us here, and we're like teenage guys. We're like, yes,
Right.
other. What did we choose? The most stereotypical teenage guy thing you could do.
Attack
helicopter. Attack helicopter. Like, it doesn't
Bro,
get.
for all you know, I could be a goddamn toaster.
Yeah, I'm a toaster, guys. It's just CGI,
Like,
right?
Listen,
Oh, I hope you don't mind I'm using your elbow rest.
Oh, it's fine.
I don't have any.
I know.
like,
You're being racist. I don't have any arm rests.
if,
does.
like,
Thanks.
if I want to be a slice of bread, right?
We're not talking about politics.
Who
No,
said that?
It's not. It's not politics.
I understand that.
Biology.
But we're not doing this. We're talking about relationships, not this.
Well, who says I want to be a slice of bread in a relationship?
Yeah, well, I want to be the
Check you
meat
talking
of
about.
the whole.
Okay, right. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Nothing.
Hold a minute.
It's all good.
Wait a minute.
I said
Alright,
frickin'.
So, like, wait.
That's fine. That's not
Wait,
swear word.
what? Hold on.
That's not swear word.
So.
I like the way you look at me.
Alright, you talk about your relationship that you
I
got.
can't.
No names.
Not-
We don't
not-
do names.
not-
No
not-
names.
nope. Like past one. Not right now. Past one. Someone can.
I don't think I can do that.
And then Jaden, you go.
Oh, wow.
It didn't work out too well.
So, my ex
I know.
was crazy.
Would you stop eating while you're trying to talk?
Actual.
But my ex was crazy. I mean, she was like 4 different levels of crazy. She had very interesting things that she wanted people to do. But I'm still a virgin. So all's
Wait,
good.
so like, are we saying like a bad thing kind of thing? Or
No,
like,
we're doing both. We're doing bad and good things.
No, I'm saying like she wanted you to do like.
Kinky stuff.
I think we all know what he's trying to say here.
Yeah, a lot of kinky stuff. And I'm like, no.
This probably isn't gonna get monetized, but you know.
We need 10,000 viewers for monetization.
Yeah, anyways.
Oh, that's easy.
And. Okay, no.
Easy.
But And she actually ended up having me, I didn't actually do anything. Today's society was kind of just all over text. But I mean, there was some like very positive stuff, but it was mostly when it was in person. Like we genuinely had a pretty good connection. I also just was like in a really awkward spot emotionally that like sometimes you just don't understand what you're feeling at that moment because we're young, we have
Oh my god, I can hit a different man. That's what you got.
Oh yeah. So it kind of just didn't work out. Now she hates me.
I feel like it'd be like that though. Like if you either break up, it's either you're still friends, right? You talk mutually, or they just don't like you. It's either one.
Or it could be my case where I just completely just be depressed and don't talk to them ever again.
See, that's because they were lesbian though.
Yeah, but also that's also.
Well, you weren't in a relationship. You were like.
Yeah, you were just talking.
Like.
No,
I guess
there's two other relationships where I just didn't talk to them ever again.
Because one of them was like,
always kind of doing things with other guys. And
I'm not saying names, but
actually
the first one, right? We talk about telepathy type shit. Wasn't necessarily bad, but I feel like it would have led to bad things.
Yes, it would have led to bad things, and she was also talking to other guys, and she was doing things with other guys, so that...
We're talking about the one that's like...
That's a twig.
No,
okay,
not that one.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I don't know what we're talking about then.
LH.
Campbell have
Oh! Okay, that's it. Sorry, we can't tell you guys' names.
I think they just heard that, but
nice.
If you're watching, sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. You broke this man's heart.
You were talking to other guys.
You broke this man's heart.
Can't stop. This is your life story, bro.
You were talking to other guys.
Actually, technically,
and
we
doing
just
things with
our
other
entire
guys
life
while we were dating. It sucks to be you.
Okay, right, but that ain't right.
Yeah, that's not how
in
you
the
do
comments. What would you do?
In the comments in that situation.
Why do women think it's okay to act like we don't have feelings too?
Yeah. We don't just listen to.
We treat you like queens. Why can't you treat us like kings?
I put that in the comments of an Instagram bio once, and I think you just stole it from me.
Damn, sucks.
See, sometimes we don't always listen to
It's
down
how we
there.
like it.
Sometimes we use this too. It's just not all about down there. And most of the time.
Why are we ATMs?
Yeah, why are we running at 12 frames a second? I don't know.
Listen. I can understand, we buy stuff for them, right?
Yeah.
We go out to eat, first time we go out to eat,
But
I'll pay, right? Because that's just, I guess that's expected.
Yeah.
I mean, that shouldn't be expected, but it is, right? But, after that, I would assume that you mutually give it back to me, right?
Yeah, so what it is you go to the movies, right? One person buys the tickets, the other one buys the food.
Right.
Or say you go to a restaurant, guy pays for the first meal, you should be expecting a second date, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, not necessarily.
Sometimes.
Of the first date,
but at least a courtesy date. Kind of end it there. End it on the second date, but you should pay.
Unless the first date was really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. But that's a good point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It should always be a mutual bond.
Yeah. It's usually not like that, but
I give you cuddles, I expect hugs. I give you rides, I expect just I give you rides in my car.
I'm joking.
Rides in my car.
No, but if I give you rides in my car at night, I expect cuddles. I expect just mutual stuff. No, genuine cuddles. I'm waiting, man.
You know who I'm talking about.
Does he?
JS.
Why do you say their initials like I'm
Mm-hmm. What is your name?
Wait. Wait. I'm so confused.
Last name starts with an S.
Dude.
This kid, a lot of stuff. One of the kids in our grade, he's made a lot of mistakes this year alone.
Oh, we're talking about the dude. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about him.
Right.
And there's a lot of mistakes alone this year from this dude, and went around the entire school. I think he'll deny it any day of the year, but I think he genuinely did a lot of the stuff. Because it's stuff that you should do in a relationship.
They also hit our friend with a car.
Yeah, he hit no, technically the friend hit him. I heard the story from both angles, and he hit him. So do not buy a car. Sorry. Anyways, this is why we're called the Jitters podcast. We're the most random people.
We have no clue what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're the most random people here.
I'm joking. We know some things.
Just wait until we actually get on aliens.
Oh, bro, that's gonna be such a fun podcast. Anyways, back to relationships. Friends with a purpose. Never do it. Friends with a purpose can go south that fast, and it's just not worth it in the end. That happens pretty consistently. But that happens so consistently, especially in high school and college. You just want to be friends with a purpose. Then all of a sudden you have a child.
And you're 17.
And you have to name him Jimmy.
What's wrong with the name Jimmy? Mr. Beast's name Jimmy.
So is my dad.
Right? Wait, what's his name? Jimmy, right? This is his name?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Right.
Imagine if his last name was Beast. Like, Jimmy Beast would be such a cool name. Anyway.
I mean, John Legend, so got the best last. Anyway, like,
Anyway.
like, what are we thinking here? You know,
You still haven't told about your relationship.
Yeah, Erica.
I was literally about to talk about freaking Kanye and freaking Kardashian. They broke up.
Mm-hmm. I got divorced.
That's
It's like,
crazy.
isn't it like a $6.3 billion divorce?
That's crazy though. You know, it's like you guys know what I'm saying. If you know it, you know what I'm saying. Like
I don't know.
I'm talking about like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, no, I know
If
that.
You know, you
I
know.
Yeah.
Like you know what he did with Kanye. You know what he did with Kanye, right?
I think they do
They did like a wink wink. You know what I'm saying? They did a
Yeah.
an adult film.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, okay. So, you know, watched a couple times. Anyway,
Yeah, I have it
I
tabbed
want you to know the
naturally.
story before you say something in the comments.
Yeah, this isn't about lust. This is for the storyline. Some stories are really good. Don't go. I do not.
You don't
condone.
advise going that.
Never
because-
get into that because it is a.
I like how we're not supposed to be watching that anyways. Until we're 18.
What are you saying? We're not 18.
You said we were teens.
What could be 19?
Could be.
You're
Because
an
we're-
adult.
Because we're in a parent's basement. Anyways.
I
Well,
don't even live here, bro.
I do. It's my house. It's stupid overall. Like, we're gonna do a podcast. Look where we're at now.
right.
I don't know. It's your relationship now.
Why did I do this? Why are we gonna talk about my relationship, bro? Like,
Let's talk about Xbox games. Let's talk about
We're on a
E3.
relationship. Today's.
we're on relationships, bro.
Yeah,
So
today's
I
a
don't-
relationship.
Well, I don't want to talk about
Listen,
this anymore.
relationship- okay.
Making depressed, man.
Listen. Right? Summer camp, right? You go to summer camp, okay? And you just have a good time at summer camp, right? Usually all you guys go to summer camp and just like, you have a good time, right? You just do summer camp stuff, you freaking are in a cabin or whatever, you sleep there.
With the girls? No.
But, you know, you're separated and everything, obviously, but like, okay, so you go and have fun, right? And then my experience was like, I was just chilling, right? I'm doing all their fun games for like, I don't know, like a week, I think I was there. And then just like, right. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, but I lived for a week, right? And I'm having fun and everything. And then it gets to be the end, right? And I don't really want to wait because like this summer camp is just like tiring, bro. And I'm like, I'm okay, I'm out of here. Okay, so I get picked up, right? And then I'm at my house, okay, and I get this text, right, on Snapchat, okay. So I'm like, okay, who's this, right? Some girl named, you know, I can't say her name. Let's just call her.
Shaniqua.
Okay, no. Let's have her name be. Let's have her name be.
What is the
Like,
wrong podcast episode?
Sam. Okay, let's have her name be Sam, right? Okay. Random name. It's not her actual name, but her name's Sam, right? So I get a text from Sam on Snapchat, and I check it, and it's like, hey, I met you at summer camp, and I just thought you were really cool, and I wanted to get to know you more, right? So I'm like, okay, bet, right? I'm like, okay. This is like kind of my somewhat first experience with like girls, right? Or like that are actually like chilling, that are not actually like, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we get to talking, right? And like over a couple of weeks, and then it just goes on and on. We text back, I text back, and she lives in Winona, which is like somewhere. I don't know where that is.
Somewhere in the world.
Somewhere in the world, totally not correlation to anywhere where we are. Anyway, that's like, okay, well,
Nice.
anyway,
Smooth.
that's like 30 minutes.
Winona, Texas.
Yeah, totally. So, I'll just say we live near there, wherever that is. So I figure out where she lives, right? I don't figure it out. She tells me. Okay. Anyway, so we get on talking. I figure out where she tells me where she lives. Okay, I go up there, and like see her, right? Because like we've been texting for like a couple months now, like consistently, like just talking, right?
He's in pain. I just bumped his knee.
I have a massive road rash on my leg. I was doing wheelies on my bicycle and I fell. I have a massive road rash on my leg and he just hit it. And it hurts so much.
My bad.
Okay.
Maybe if you move your
Actual, shut the fuck up.
Freaking-
You fucking talk, Cam.
Wait, it's fine. It's been 10
Yeah,
minutes.
okay. Let's go. I can fucking swear.
Okay.
Don't boo.
Chill. That's gonna be bleep. I'm just kidding. Okay.
We're editing this?
I am.
No, you guys just interrupted my story.
Okay.
Okay, anyways,
It's
keep
like
going.
fucking black.
Keep going with your story.
Okay. Anyway, where was I at?
Oh well.
Okay. I see disappears into the background. I was at, okay, we hang out, or, she texted me for a while, right? She says, hey, let's go meet up, right? So I go up there, and we meet up and everything. We had a good time. We were, like, on this little lake, and we, like, did everything, right? Like, we went out, like, not canoes, what's it called? Like, not a canoe, but, like, smaller than that. A kayak, right? Okay, we go on kayak and do all this weird, okay, it's a freaking lake, right? You just do lake things. And then, okay, like a couple months go by, right? We're still talking and everything. And then one day it just like stops, right? The drip finally stops, as like Mr. Uguay would say, right? And then, like, I'm just like, hey, like, what's good? Did I she ghosted or what? And like, I go back up there. Like, I'm not stalking her type shit. Like, I just go up there because my cousin went to college there. So I went up there, and then I'm just like chilling with her. Or not chilling with like Sam, right? I'm not chilling with her, I'm chilling with my cousin. And then I just happen to see a motherfucker just like that pops up right next to her, right?
Just out of nowhere, like thin air.
He just pops up right next to her. I'm like, okay, who's this dude, right? Because like they're somewhere on the lake, right? I don't know why they're on the lake, but they just happened to be there when I was there. So I just see him, and she like hugs him. I'm like, okay, maybe it's like her brother or something, right? Like I'm just chilling, not knowing who it is, right? So it's probably her brother or some shit, you know, it's like they're hugging, they kind of look like, and then I'm like, wait a minute, she ghosted me, we haven't talked for a while, she's with this random dude, and they just hugged, right? So I'm like,
so tell us what you think it is in the comments.
I'm kind of concerned here just a little bit, for like, obvious reasons, right? And then like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what comes after a hug sometimes, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh,
they
get
just
the
like,
smooches going.
okay, they do that, so I'm like, wait a minute.
You just died on
I'm like, wait a minute, like,
realization hits. I think that's.
I kind of like just.
You could just sat there.
You just
You just sat there, just like.
I literally just stood there, and I'm like,
I think
like, wait,
I think
what
the
just happened
hardest
there?
ones
I don't know.
when you're talking to a girl is when you find her with somebody else, doing
I
stuff
know.
with somebody else, and she has no idea. Like that's what hurts the most, because
I mean,
then she's not really
but
thinking
like,
of you.
what hurt the most is like, we had a relationship going on. Oh fuck! I just got that syrup ash in my mouth.
Hey, sponsor. We need
We're not
sponsors.
sponsoring them.
Damn,
How about you, Kobe?
We're
I
not
feel like
sponsoring
crying
them
right
right
because
now.
like it's almost like it's related to mine.
Okay.
Have I ever been cheated on? I gotta think about this.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, I have.
That's what happened.
Oh.
Okay. Wait.
sorry.
And so like, I kind of just came home, and was just like,
Dead.
I was dead. I literally just sat on my bed, and just like started crying because I'm like, yo, like what just happened, you know? And like a couple weeks go on, I just kind of forget about it and just like move on with life because that's what men have to do. So,
And then friends consistently ask them if they're okay. Or friends consistently ask them to tell the story over and over.
yeah.
Just to piss you off.
So like now we're here. Yeah. That's why I don't like relationships.
Any other relationship stories for me? Oh yeah. If a girl says that she's going to end herself if you don't date her, the relationship won't go well. It's as simple as that. Because my second ex, I have 3 exes, my second ex, she said she was going to end herself if I didn't date her, so I asked. And we ended up dating for like 5 months. And
Hey, but actual, that's pretty long.
oh, I know. That's a good
That's
chunk
probably too long.
8th graders.
That's probably too long.
For 8th graders, 100%, especially with how toxic their relationship was.
Wait, we're gonna talk about that one time when I was like with that one girl, you know what I'm saying, in like 8th grade, and it was like for like half a day, and it was, you know what I'm saying? You guys, you know what I'm talking about? It starts with an S, was like kind of like a, you know.
I'm thinking of
Starts
somebody
with, starts with an S, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? She's like blonde hair, bro. Right?
Oh,
yeah. I remember
Sorry,
that.
we can't.
Alright,
Her
so,
name is Patricia.
I'm gonna explain that story though. So there was these 3 girls in our grade. They were playing a dating game.
Oh yeah.
It was to see how many boyfriends they could all have by the end of the year. Me, him, and one other guy all dated this one girl.
I lucky got played by a fiddle, bro. Like, I wouldn't even see it coming either, because I was like,
And I dated 2 of the girls that
I was in science class, bro.
How
And I was
like?
chilling.
Just imagine this. You're so
Started calling her fucking
girls
mom.
are
I don't even know
so
why.
girls are so unattracted to somebody that even in the dating game they won't date you. Welcome to my life. Legit, even with the dating game, I didn't date any of them.
But like,
Okay,
don't
sorry.
keep thinking about that now. It kind of hurts because like you
You were used.
you really
Again.
no, but you really
Why do
think,
girls think it's okay that we don't have feelings?
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm just, I can't say, I was like, that was like pretty much my first like real relationship, or like, in quotations real, because
Yeah.
like, I was like, what, 7th grade, 8th grade, and like, I just like, was like, I didn't like talking to girls, because that's just, I wasn't, like, 7th, 8th grade, just kind of an awkward time to talk to girls, because you're in 8th grade, you're like 12, 13, right, so like,
And you can't control a certain area.
exactly, so I was like that, and it's like,
And
I was
it
at
really.
my friend's house, like, in where we live, right, and like, he lived somewhere near her, right, and then she came over, like, knocked on the door and said, hey, like,
That's it. She walked away after that. It was just hey.
just walked away. Anyway, but she said like, hey, I don't know what she said, but she said something about like me. She's like, hey, like, just hey, can we talk to Jake or whatever? And like, I go out to like I go out to this playground because he lives near like a school, and because it's like 8th grade, you know, I'm like, whatever. Anyway, we go to the playground like talking like, hey, you know, I like you, and like that weird 8th grade awkward kind of thing that goes on, you know, and says, hey, I like you too, and I'm like, okay, you know, it's kind of weird, like, like I'm down with it, I guess. It low-key felt real, bro. Like, cause that was like my first thing, and I was just like, yo, like this actually happened, right? Like I kind of felt a sense of joy a little bit, and I was like nervous and everything, cause like it was like a real relationship, and I was like, you know.
What's really weird
But like,
is that
hey, yo, chill.
if
I'm
a
like,
guy did that to a girl,
it'd be a whole different story.
like there'd be so much freaking out about it. Because that's just how it happens. You know, girls can do almost whatever they want when it comes down to relationships and not get in trouble for it.
And it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird because like I really thought about it as being real because I don't like playing around in relationships because it just seems kind of pointless. And like it just like because I was like kind of serious about it, right? Even though it was 8th grade, I was just like, okay, like, you know, let me do something with this, right? Let me like, you know, I don't know, but like, I don't know, we had like a football game going on after, and it was just like there were so many things going on, and I think like didn't she like get in a fight with like another girl named like, you know, Alyssa,
Yeah.
right, but like not that name, you know what I'm saying?
There's
Yeah,
actually
you know
a
what I'm
girl
talking
that's
about.
like head over heels for this guy. Not,
No, wait,
not
that-
for this man.
wait.
Not for this
Wait,
man.
you can't say that.
Well,
That's
so,
for real.
Yeah, guys have
Oh, it's
standards.
fine.
Guys have standards too.
It's just
You
more
can't
very.
you can't just judge us because we have standards. Girls also have
Actually,
standards.
wait, I totally forgot what I was talking about. But like,
Well,
well,
okay.
hold on, we gotta go back to my story, right? We can't just overload this. So she tried to get in a fight. She got in a fight. She got like, I think she got punched in the face or whatever. She comes to me, right? I'm like, what? Because like I'm like 13, bro, and she's like crying because she got punched in the face. I'm like, what? Like what? What am I supposed to do, bro? Like she's like, hey, I don't even know what she wanted me to do. She just started crying and like ran past me, and I didn't know if she wanted me to help her. And like she went to her friends, like, hey, can you help her? Can you help her? Can you go like talk to her? I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like go talk to the girl that punched her, not like my girlfriend in quotations, but like I'm just like, you want me to say, bro? So I'm just like, okay.
You hit my girl.
Yeah, no, like I actually, like no, and I was just like, okay, if this is how it's gonna be, like I'm just not about to be in it. So like I was like, hey, bro, I told my friend straight up, like, hey, I'm not gonna be doing this if this is the type of shit that's gonna be going on in a relationship. And then I was just like, that was it. And then her friends like came over to some shit talking to me. I'm like, bro, can I just like vibe, please? and they just they come over and that's like, they're just like shit talking to me and everything.
See,
Anyway, like, yeah.
Here's a good lesson to know about a relationship. Don't get into your girlfriend's drama.
Yeah.
Because then you
Actual.
become, after a while of that, I think you actually end up becoming part of the friend zone.
Right, see, but like what I didn't understand was like the next day, like she came because we're in the same like we were in the same like classes because it's like a little
Yeah.
like
A homeroom.
you only have like 4 classes in like 8th grade, right? So like I just go in there, I'm in my science class, and she like kind of sits right behind me, and she's like crying. I'm like, you like crying over me or some shit? This is like a 14-hour relationship. I'm kind of confused here. What's going on?
Yeah, I've never dated anyone before.
So like, I'm kind of confused because it was like a dating game, right? And she like played me somewhat, but I didn't even know about that. And so like I like was like with her for 14 hours and didn't even know that she was playing me, but yet she's like still came crying. So I don't actually know if she had feelings or if it was just like a show or like what. You know, y'all are fucking weird, bro. Like not y'all. But
Yeah,
like,
girls in general.
some of you.
It's the
okay?
drama-filled girls that are kind of like, why do you have to be so drama-filled?
Right.
Like, why do you have just such a
Like a relationship now,
drama?
like if I'm talking to someone, right, and I'm like, hey, right, because like I'm like matured, right, and like want to do something. That's
Yeah,
let's go do something. And then they're like, hey, I'm down. That's the type of stuff I want, right?
Yeah, let's go watch a
And
movie.
just be
Let's go on
chill.
a nighttime
And just be chill, right? Like let's go. Hey, let's hang out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We don't need all this drama and stuff. Like, not too much to ask. Like, tell us if you're a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta know this stuff.
It's pretty simple, guys.
But I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna go off of what Cam said earlier. Standards. Guys have standards unless we are mentally destroyed. Like, if we're depressed as no tomorrow and we're like genuinely mentally broken, we'll take almost anything from anybody. That's I've been in the exact same situation. I'm stuck in the exact same
The term for that is called down bad.
yeah, you're down bad, right? But it's interesting because that's when, if you like a guy and you see that he's in a mentally low spot, that's when you go for him. But don't treat him like he's a project that you're trying to fix up. Treat him like he's a person. Help him build his mental standpoint back up in a positive way, not a negative. Because if you build him back up in a negative way, he'll collapse very quickly. Like the Tower of Pisa should be, but it's not.
They fixed it actually.
Did they?
They fixed it. Like it was gonna collapse because like there's a certain point where like it can tilt without the gravity like affecting it to a point where it's gonna fall. But it almost got to the point where it was past that, so they had to move it back over and just like, you know, concrete.
It's not tilted, it's straight. So now it's just a straight pizza. Pizza.
Well, they didn't make it so it was straight. They just leaned it back a little more so like it wouldn't fall over or like gravity would affect it. But yeah.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, if we hit a low spot, we'll take almost anything. And I think something that should get normalized a little bit, like a non-weird way, is kind of like consistently telling guys compliments. Because
you guys don't know how much that means though. It's most
because
of the time.
literally, I was thinking of a compliment from 3 years ago, and it still means almost the world to me.
But there's things that, like, for me, like, if I receive too many compliments, it makes me kind of, like, weirded out and suspicious, like, that they're doing something. Yeah, because if you show too much affection at one time, it makes me think that you're up to something.
Yeah, because when you get very little to no affection and just randomly talk, it's weird.
Something had to make you like that.
Yeah.
You're not just originally, like, if you, like, when you're, like, 5 or, like, 6 and you don't know about relationships and people keep giving you compliments, you think nothing of it, right? But since now that you matured, then something must have happened in your life for you to be, like, cautious about stuff like that, so, you know.
Hint, hint.
So, you know. Don't recommend.
10 out of 10, don't recommend. No. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting experience for all of us that you can learn more of on this podcast. From all of our future episodes that we haven't made yet.
Like, because most of the time, we devote, like, everything to, like, a girl, right?
But okay, it gets complicated because that is only the good guys.
Right.
There are bad guys out there that are out doing drugs, drinking.
You don't like those guys. Like, what?
Yeah, why do people like those
Like
guys?
what?
Because
Like,
it's so obvious that they're going to
to
break you. If you just want to hook up, that's fine.
The song,
I won't date you if you do, but that's fine.
Like the song says it. The song says it like
Copyright.
Like,
Copyright.
No, not. But like, you can just like say part of the song, right? It's like, nice guys always finish. I should have known that. Gave you my heart, and you fucked around and broke that. Like, that really just says it right there. Like, we devote most of like everything we have to you guys, or certain people, right? And then you just like don't care. Like we're not trying enough.
And then you just up and leave and go for somewhere else.
We're not giving you enough attention, right? But like most of the time, that's not even true. Most of the time, you just like lose affection for what reason, right?
Hey, okay.
That just doesn't make sense.
This is something
and
that
then you wonder why like there's no nice guys left.
So this is something
Because they're all broke.
Yeah, we all died on the
Fucking
inside.
broken, dude.
No, something I've learned.
Yeah.
Something I've learned decently recently was.
Decently.
Yeah, decent. I mean, this was within a year. I learned that love is not a feeling; it is a commitment. So, the feeling of butterflies you feel for somebody, it goes on and off throughout. My parents, they've been married for a long time, like 30 years, and I kid you not. No, it's like 20 something. But I was talking about it, and they go, you know, the butterflies come and go. The butterflies come and go. And it's when it goes is when the commitment really comes in.
Yeah.
Like, that's when
Natural.
it really comes in. When you're out at a bar with a bunch of friends and stuff, like, that's where that genuine love and commitment come in. Showing off that I don't care about anybody else here. I ain't getting with nobody else. You know? And it
Right,
should
that's
be-
something you should just expect. That's something we have to hope for, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, the trust between my parents are so huge that when my dad went out, got just wasted out of his mind with a bunch of his coworkers, and he ended up throwing up the alcohol and stuff. But he didn't cheat. He didn't do anything like that because he just has this pure love and stuff for my mom that he knows that he just wouldn't do that. And she trusts him like no more. She actually started joking around with him like, "Ha, you got wasted and drunk." Like, that's how it should be. And I feel like that's something that a lot of today's relationships are missing. Especially high school ones. High school ones are turned crazy, man.
I don't know, bro.
I remember it's like genuine good high school couples. Like way back when.
I don't know, I feel like just times have changed like so
Sorry,
much.
I'm
But like,
playing around with things.
it's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, obviously not all girls are bad, right?
No,
Not-
obviously
not
not. Making
all.
it sound like all of them are bad.
No,
There are some
no, that's not what we're
amazing
saying, right?
ones.
Like, there are 100% like millions and billions, or like
Billions.
You know,
Actually, yeah, there's a
yeah.
couple billion
there's
girls.
probably a couple billion
There's
girls,
a couple
right?
billion girls. Not a single one of them like me. Put down in the comments if you.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, you know what I'm
Ignore
saying?
that.
Like, obviously most of like all of girls are all good, right? It's just those certain ones that are just like, just not the one. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they don't necessarily mean to, but like,
They could be a nice and genuine person.
but
they-
they don't realize like,
What you're doing to another person.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
it's just not it, right?
sometimes it's just because you find a really good girl that's just like perfect in every way doesn't mean she's the one for you.
Right.
Another thing I think that's a really big problem in today's high schools are people want a relationship so badly they'll do anything for it. They'll genuinely do anything.
They'll completely change themselves,
Yeah, which is what you should do. You should always be yourself no matter what.
and that person should enjoy you for being that person.
Literally,
Right.
like-
If you're changing who you are, that kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Literally, the few female friends I have that I'm like more than open with to have a relationship later in life with, I'm like burping, farting, and all that stuff around them because I don't care what they think. Because they know it's just me. If I don't do that around them, am I
Right,
being
like-
me? No.
That's kind of like how I try to live, right? Like, example is like I went to Florida and I went to this dealership of like nice cars, right? And there was like,
It's my favorite car
and
company. I all
obviously,
forgot about
and obviously like, I'm not a person, or my family's not is like not like wealthy. Okay, so we won't be able to like afford a frog dealer, you know. So like I go there and there's like people dressed nice and stuff. So like I'm over here just like walking around in my like freaking Nike like flats on or something, right? And I'm just like, I'm not giving a crap, right? Because I don't care what they think, right? They can like look at me however they want. Like that's just up to them, right? If they choose to live life judging other people, that's up to them, right? But anyway, like basically, there's this door you're not supposed to go through, and I'm like, does it look like I give a fuck? Like I just did not give any shits, bro. It's a Ferrari dealership, and there's a GTR back there I really wanted to see, so I just went through the door, and I'm like, I should have told my mom like. They're like, hey, you're not supposed to go through the door. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I just went through the fucking door. Like, and there's a dude back there, a worker, and I'm just like, hey, you know, you didn't give a crap, you know? So, I don't know. That kind of has, like, really no correlation to anything we just said. But, like, basically, like, if you want to live your life not caring what other people think, like, it's not a bad way to live, you know? Like,
It's
why would you care the way they think? Like, how does that affect you? Like, if it's a random person in public and they look at you weird.
It's the best way to live. Right. Nobody cares.
Like, you can look however you want. You can dress however you want. You can act however you want. Like,
yeah, bro, I'm wearing pajama bottoms right now. I really don't care what people think. I'll wear pajama bottoms to school. What's the school gonna do?
It's not
school appropriate.
Like, there should be no reason why you care about how anybody feels, unless like it's like a loved one or like a friend or like, you know, a lover or like a
and they're telling you, hey, this is not healthy.
I'm saying like you're just like a random person like who you feel is judging you. You don't like, and I care why. You're not supposed to be offended by that. Like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this generation, I also feel, gets way too easily offended.
Oh my god, bro. Don't even start.
We're not getting into politics, but I'm just saying, I think
we get snowflakes up in here, man.
But I think that, like, we need to calm down a little bit on the offense side of things.
We should stop canceling the people that we grew up with.
See, but like, it's not even like a problem of like.
Don't cancel them.
Like way back when, like on YouTube, and you could really.
You know they're trying to cancel Tyler the Creator because of like old lyrics that he posted.
Yeah, you can like say they try to cancel Eminem from.
Yeah, this last summer they tried to
stuff, right? Anyway, like you just going back to character people think like it doesn't matter. Like it just seems like people get too stressed over stuff that's like totally irrelevant in like today's society, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just chill out, guys. Just chill out.
Yeah, just chill. Vibe with the boys.
That's what you
just
do.
Vibe, man.
You don't need to care about like what people are
doing.
doing.
Pick up a controller and game console and just vibe.
Right? Because
that's very toxic.
But like at the end of the day, what like really matters is how you feel, right? It doesn't matter, like how anybody else really thinks.
If you're mentally feeling sad, like very sad, yes, you do need to work on that because
right.
We should
all these commercials say like right now, call us hotline, but realistically, bro, I'm not gonna call a hotline.
Yeah.
Like I'm depressed, but I'm not gonna call a hotline. Like I've never gotten like suicidal thoughts, right? But,
yeah.
Like all you gotta do, like like if I did, right? You just gotta think of something, right? Like there's always gonna be someone or multiple people who truly care about you, no matter what you do. Like you can do anything in the whole world. You could probably literally kill a person, and your family would still love you. Like
no, I'd be disowned.
I mean, okay, like you know what I'm saying?
That was a bad.
Yeah, that was a really bad example.
That's kind of the whole point, though. Like
you could do almost anything.
You could do almost anything.
And your family
and then people. It doesn't even need to be your family, but like you just gotta know that someone out there is always just gonna care for you.
You just hope it's not certain. You just hope it's not true.
They'll always remember you for the good things that you did.
Okay, no, they're not gonna remember you because that defeats the whole purpose.
Well, they're not gonna be like, oh man, he just murdered someone. I'm gonna like.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that was a bad example. Like I'm saying, like if you have suicidal thoughts, and
they're not.
Like you're just in a bad spot. And, like I've been through this so many times with so many people, and it's like I understand you guys are depressed, right? And I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything because you're not gonna want to hear that, right? If I'm sugarcoating it, it defeats the whole purpose, right? So like what I would want to hear, right? Because I'm tired of like all that. Oh, call the hotline. It's gonna be okay. You know, get a friend. It's gonna be okay. Like deep down, you just gotta know that someone's gonna be there. Like someone's gonna be there. If one of you guys had like suicidal thoughts, I would be there. Like I'd be there. Right, I don't give a shit what time it is. Like, I would say an example, but it's too personal. Like, I'll just be there, right? It doesn't matter who you have. As long as you have someone that's always going to be there, it's fine. Like, you're going to get through anything you need to get through, okay? Because it's just, you just are no matter what happens, right?
What a deep first podcast.
But it's just like that.
Yeah,
like there's so many people, like more than like probably half the population of kids have depression, and it's because of
especially
school.
with today's generation. Yeah, schools have changed.
They just don't. They just don't care. Actually, I mean, school has been the same.
No, it's changed.
Like no. Like learning wise, it's always been the same. They're not teaching us for society. They're teaching us for like
for a test that
like
won't relate to later in life.
Let me just teach you the material. Take a test.
Forget the material.
Freaking a dude who freaking. What's a good
example?
Here.
Why do we have to read a book and write 5 essays on it if I'm trying to go into a certain career that has nothing to do with that? Say like, so why do I have to write an essay on a book that was written like 500 years ago? that's got nothing to do with, like, say, like a welding career or like photography or
Right.
anything like that.
And that's gonna be irrelevant at some point. Like let's say that the book is like just like a random book that's like
That's every book. Every
made,
book's right.
okay, but like
Authors
made like
are like-
100, like
Jonathan eats the pasta.
like just
has-
like a random book that you know in like
The Big Red Dog.
whatever, but like it's someday gonna be irrelevant because it's not gonna last. It'll someday be irrelevant because like a book is just like it'll stay, yes, but if it's irrelevant book, like if it's just about a random thing, it's not gonna stay here forever. So why would you need to learn it? Like obviously history will like always be here. It'll always be a thing because anything that happens is basically history, right? It's always in the past, which makes it history. Okay, like. But like I'll need it. At a certain point, why are you gonna need to know?
Super useful.
Like, why are you gonna need to know about like World War I and World War II? Because at a certain point, that's gonna be irrelevant.
I think
Like I understand
now,
we don't need to learn this, but like obviously it's probably good for
It helps you get a better grasp.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
I think
called
right now
what
it's
happened.
important. I think World War II will be important for forever.
Well, all the
Especially-
wars will be important, but at a certain point they're gonna be irrelevant.
Yeah,
Well,
at some
we'll-
point we'll be all in
we'll-
peace and kumbaya.
World War II is just a personal preference of one of our favorite wars to learn about.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying
But,
that,
yes,
I'm not
it's-
saying history is like irrelevant or like we don't.
History
know
is
it
important.
whatsoever. It's
It's
important
good
as
to
well.
learn.
They
but
could
just-
let that serve.
It's
We
always
shouldn't
good.
focus on it as hard as we do.
Yes.
Right. It shouldn't
We should
take up.
focus
It shouldn't
on-
take up an hour of our day every single day for like 256
We're like
days
12
of-
years right now, so
yeah, like of the year, like learning it each year through 9, 10, 11, 12, like U.S. history, government, like all of this, United States history, like it shouldn't be that big part of our education. What should be is learning
Here, I'm gonna give another
what
example.
we're gonna do.
So like,
We shouldn't wait till college to actually figure out what the shit we're actually gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
because I'm almost 17. I still have no idea what I want to do for the rest of my life. Every single day for the rest of my life. No idea.
I have an idea.
I'm hoping this blows up so then I can actually do this. But
I have an idea on what I'm going to be doing for a future career, but I'm going to give an example. So say like you in history, you learn how like agriculture came to be and how we got this far.
Right.
How do I fix like a blown gasket in my engine? Am I going to be taught that?
no, you shouldn't be driving a Subaru.
Or like, how do I do these taxes? How do I apply for a loan? How do I buy a house? How like stuff.
How do I
How do I pay taxes?
How do
how-
I pay a mortgage?
What
How do
we're
I-
gonna need to know is not taught to us. Math teachers like, what is the Pythagorean theorem?
What?
A squared plus actually, Pythagorean theorem is very useful.
Algebra.
It's proofs.
Yeah.
Proofs.
There,
Period. Done.
people are like, oh, algebra is so useful in your everyday life.
My
Yes,
mom's an
a
accountant.
certain,
Okay,
a
listen,
certain topic of
Math is useful, yes. All the math we learned is not useful. They need to focus on one specific aspect of like what we need to learn. Because I understand we need to learn like multiplication, division, like all this stuff. So like
Geometry can
obviously-
be useful for if
obviously
you're doing construction.
like,
Geometry is
carpentry,
very
all that,
important.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna need to know all like where the studs go, like how what angle the roof's gonna need to be at, like all that. You know, you're gonna need to know all this stuff. Like if
not
you become
proofs.
that. But at a certain point, it just becomes irrelevant. At a certain point, the motherfucking IXLs that you need to get to 80 aren't gonna be needed.
Oh, I have to do IXLs next year.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need that.
I don't want to do IXLs.
You don't need that.
There's also like, what was I gonna say? Fucking. Hold on, give me a second.
We have so much stuff. Yes, I think
Oh yeah, so the school we go to has classes that can help us with those things. Yeah, okay. No, they're not. They say that's what they are. The teachers don't get paid enough to
They don't get paid enough.
No, they
That's
don't.
bad.
They don't.
should get paid as much as doctors, if anything, because then they'd actually
Because
want to teach more.
they're nurturing our careers, but it's also those teachers that are teaching us not what
Like,
we need to know.
Listen.
And then
like,
I think-
hang on. There's the teachers that like are trying to help us with those subjects. So we have a personal finance teacher. His contract didn't get renewed. He's also like just gonna quit because he's not getting paid enough. Personal finance. Yes.
yeah, that is so important. Personal finance is one of the most.
Yeah. He's leaving because he's not getting paid enough.
See,
his
and like the
contract-
problem is, those are always the best teacher.
Yes.
Mr. Kruger. I'm gonna say his name.
Contract wasn't renewed because we were having too much fun in class.
Because he was the
And
best teacher.
aren't schools supposed to be fun?
And I guaranteed they had the best time, and they would want to learn.
He was my teacher.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, every single one, when he told us that his contract wasn't getting renewed, we all cried. Guys and girls did not care. We loved him so much. Like, it was hard to see him go.
And just like, tell me like, how many teachers do you actually see that actually like want to tell you like what they know?
We haven't.
Right.
We have
You can-
one.
You can have a math teacher, right? Like, but are they gonna really want to teach you how to do that?
How are
Right.
they going to connect with their students if they don't
And
actually
it should, like, I understand they have a job and like they need to teach you these things, but like there are so many things you can do to make it better.
There should be more days where the teacher can really connect with the students
Right.
versus
instead of just giving them a pamphlet and a piece of paper and say, write down the problem and like
Yeah,
absorb
write down the
knowledge.
knowledge.
And like homework should not be a thing.
I think it should be a thing because it's a
Like-
good way to show
Okay.
off a
Okay, but like, okay,
work ethic.
homework, like it should be a thing, but like it should not be like assigned every day. It shouldn't need to be like this type of like aspect of where if you don't get it done, you're gonna get punished by that. Because I understand why they do that, right? Because if you're in a job and you get something done by that time, you don't have really a second chance to do that, unlike homework, right?
I think
But at a certain point,
the biggest thing should be consistency. There should be a
Right.
very big consistency at school of when we get homework. I do think we should have homework. I think we should be able to also have enough time in class to get it done.
But also, shouldn't we also like branch out? So say like so a teacher can get about how many students are in our
Like 20
grade?
there.
No, like in our grade.
Overall, like
Like
no, it's gonna be like 200.
Is it
yeah,
200?
it's like 200 and something. So say one teacher has 230 papers that all have the same thing on it, and they have to grade every single one. And say there's probably 15% of those have maybe about 10 answers wrong. And those answers are it's a diverse group, and you're getting like points docked off of those diverse groups. But say that student worked on one of those problems for an hour. They were committed to that problem to like solve that whole sheet, but they didn't get it right. And that's also not just the student's fault; it's the teacher's fault. Because it's the teacher's job to teach that student how to do that. And if that student is not getting it, they like.
It's not for them. They
That's-
shouldn't be shoving it
It's
down
not
their
necessarily.
throat.
It's not
Yeah,
necessarily
because
teachers' fault, that's just, like,
it's
students.
it's a mutual thing
Right.
where both of them have to figure out what's beneficially working for both of them.
And they try to do that, but
It doesn't.
rarely works because they
And
don't.
this also goes back to like
choosing
teachers connecting with their students. Teachers just look at the paper and try and just look at like 5 problems, and they already know that like the student doesn't cooperate. Maybe they just don't know how to do it, and the teacher is not bonding with that student, so that how would they ever know if they're actually trying their hardest?
Yeah, I personally think that it should be consistent. School should be very consistent. Where homework we get consistency, and days for students and teachers to really get to know each other should also be consistent. And actually, one of the other very good teachers, he does something where like kids can come in and help him out with their homework and all that stuff. He gets paid the absolute least.
Mhm.
Somebody who's literally there to help kids.
Yeah, taking their time out of their day just to help others, and they
Yeah,
are
like,
like
you see
seeing
what I
zero
don't get
benefit
is,
out of
like,
it.
And he gets paid the least. He's the least
Yeah,
paid teacher in
right.
the entire school.
And like, what I don't get right is like, okay, like surgeons or doctors get paid like usually the most on like the scale of like who gets paid the most, like
He's up there with
in the United States or
engineers.
like anywhere, right?
Up there with them.
See, and they heal people, right? So they can like they heal people. That's basically what they do, right? They give them another ability to do what they couldn't do before. See, but if teachers weren't there, like let's say this boy Jimmy, right, wants to be a surgeon when he grows up. Who teaches Jimmy like his basics on like how to do life, right?
Or,
that one teacher. I'm not
the
necessarily saying
teachers
that one
also
teacher teaches them though, how
Get
to
students
do the thing.
like interested in a career. Like I've had 3 teachers that have set me onto a path to a blue collar job. I want to be a welder when I get older so bad, and that's all because of 3 teachers, and they all work like as teachers, but on the side they do blue collar stuff. One does welding and housework, and the other one's just a carpenter. And that's all things that I love to do. Like working with my hands is the favorite thing that I love to do. But schools don't even pay attention to that because
No, they're so focused on college.
Yeah.
That's all that they care about is college.
You get a
college.
because it helps the
But-
school. It only helps to see it because when a student gets into a good college, it reflects onto that
High school.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
College should be more of an option versus like it should be like, hey, college exists, you don't have to go do that.
College is irrelevant. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, dude.
You don't need
Depends. No. I'm not gonna have a surgeon do anything to me if he doesn't have a
Right,
degree.
right.
Yeah.
But then
Certain
again,
people should have a
Yeah,
college degree.
certain people should have.
Certain
Not, you shouldn't have to have a college degree, a college degree to do welding, electrician. You shouldn't have a college degree.
Blue collar jobs are so important. Literally,
Especially, we're running out of them. Hey, put down in the comments below if you're gonna know. I'm kidding. But y'all should genuinely we need more blue collar jobs. We need more.
Well, you know what's
people.
crazy? Some of the smartest people in the world didn't go to college.
Yeah, Elon Musk
Elon Musk
did,
didn't go to-
but
Bill
he
Gates
did.
dropped
yeah,
out.
he went to
dropped out.
Harvard. Yeah, he went to Harvard.
Bill Gates dropped out of college.
Mark Zuckerberg didn't go to college.
Yes, he did. He went to Harvard too.
No, he did.
He did.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah,
He went to college.
he went to high school. Do you know how he created Facebook? Why he created Facebook? It was originally to how do I put it? Rate women. That's what it was
That's it,
originally designed to
basically.
do. Was rate women.
Rate.
Rate RATE. Rate women.
Did
So it's rate them out of 5 stars. That's what he created it
Stephen
for.
Hawking?
Stephen Hawking. Yeah. I don't know, but he was a genius.
Genius.
He couldn't say much, but he was a genius.
Dude, so
Man was really
before
disabled
before
and was
his
the smartest
before
dude
his
in the
disease
world.
hit him, he was a fully functioning, insanely IQ person.
He was
His-
an
his-
insanely
his-
IQ
his-
person.
His IQ
He-
was
it
close
never
to
stopped.
Einstein's.
I wanted to play quantum chess with him.
See, but you know what's funny? Like, we're not smart people, right? Like
We're still growing
Albert
and figuring
Einstein,
things out.
right? Was this one of the smartest dudes in the whole world? And it was way back when was he even born, right? Albert Einstein, right?
Oh yeah, he was smart.
Wait,
he was considered insane. Actually, he failed most of his classes in high school. He failed all of them but science, and I think he failed most of his math too.
If you
And look at this, he created a formula. Nobody would have seen this coming from this man. He was literally called dumb and retarded. He was called all that stuff. And look what he did. He's considered a genius today. Imagine being that teacher who told him,
Like, we literally still use his formula today, and it's been almost 200, 300 years later.
no.
No,
No.
It was around like World War
200
II.
years.
It was World War II.
Yeah.
Oh, so 100 years, 150 years.
I mean, this guy.
150 years.
100
Actually
years.
close. Yeah, actually.
It's
It's
like
almost.
21.
It's almost 120.
Yeah, it's almost been 100. No, World War One. World
1776.
War One. It's been about like 25 years.
Yeah.
No, not 25.
Are you fucking retarded?
I'm retarded. Yep, I'm
For
retarded.
25 years. Yeah, we must have had engineering.
We hit a hard time.
Yeah, we're not good at history. Okay,
My
guys.
brain hit a
Sounds
Our
like-
history kid's not here. No.
Okay, so it's sorry. It's been 125 years since World War One.
Yeah, it's
Pretty much.
yeah. Albert Einstein was literally considered dumb. Like all of his teachers told him, "You're not going to be
He
successful."
failed his physics classes, and guess what? He made a formula we still use today.
Also, like people are like, "Oh man, he must have been like so organized and like he had everything."
No.
If you look on the last picture, like on the day he died, and you look on the last picture of his office, there were papers everywhere. His desk was unorganized, but he was so successful, and he found everything, and it helped him out so much in life. You don't have to have everything organized, as long as you know as you have it, and it's like you know what's in your spot where you left it last. You don't have to have anything like ordered.
Oh yeah, ladies. If a guy's bedroom is a mess, don't move anything. We know exactly where everything's
Yes.
at. Don't move everything. If you want to know where like a paperclip is, it's to the left of the bottom drawer on my shelf. It's all the way down, back right in that drawer.
I have a pile of clothes just sitting in my room. I can find like a whole outfit out of there that I know exactly where everything is. I can find, say, like a pair of shoes that's like been sitting in my closet for like 2 years. I know exactly where they are. So.
7 model bugs. Yeah, it's yeah. I don't think anybody can be considered dumb today, especially for how genuinely smart this generation can be if all of us put our mind onto one thing. Because if all of us want to cancel somebody, they get canceled. Miraculously, they get canceled. Unless everybody, and if everybody loves someone, they get really, really big. They get really, really famous and loved. And they could do almost anything in the world. And we'd still love them. Coronavirus. And they would still love them. It's just, yeah, it's been interesting. How did we get from girls to school? Depression. That was how.
Honestly, the only thing keeping me here is just friends.
Yeah.
If I didn't meet these guys or anyone I've been close with, I wouldn't be here. For real. I wouldn't be here. That's a no joke. Like I wouldn't.
Yo, I know. Me too. I hit a really low point not that long ago.
Oh, you mean not that long ago?
Not that long ago. Not a whole lot of people know about it, but I ended up becoming BFFs with one of my teachers. It was a health teacher. I ended up becoming BFFs with her. We talk all the time, and I'd just tell her everything bad that was going on in my life. And it just ended up going really well for me because at one time I did have friends that, before that situation.
I thought that was going a completely different direction.
No. I wish, but no.
What?
In a different situation, where I also was really, really low part in life, I was kind of just in the wrong group of people for it because it's yeah, I'm sad, I'm having bad thoughts. And also I'm oh my god, me too, it's okay. We can be sad and suicidal together and then looking back at it now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, no, you don't want to be a friend group like that because if you do, it just gets worse. You end up dyeing your hair weird colors. It just gets worse. You put it rainbow colors, man.
Fuck you.
Thanks, boys. No. Yeah, yeah, high school is very depressing. But college should be interesting. Maybe I'll find myself a good girl in college.
I'm not going to college.
I am.
I don't feel
You'll find a good girl at the bar.
I don't feel like going $45,000 in debt.
Yeah,
and then not
parties.
getting a job.
Yeah, parties.
That ain't worth it though. You know,
Why not just go to a college party anyways?
Yo.
I'll ask you what college you go to. I don't know.
Dwarf Mamba, right?
Dwarf Mamba.
That's his
Yeah.
name?
He was lit. He was such a good
Listen. When he went to college to get in this frat, he had to eat a whole onion that's been pissed on, completely drenched in piss. And he had to eat the whole thing to get into the frat. See,
that's true
that
guys.
Must have been a good ass frat because for me to eat an onion with piss on it,
It took a lot.
I don't know.
Because you're still gonna smell it, and you're eating
It's a fucking onion.
And another frat thing I heard was they blindfold you. They make you almost completely naked. You had to sit on your knees, mouth as open as possible. They put a hot dog in your mouth, but it's supposed to make you think that they're about to put a lane in your mouth. It's funny as hell. Guys are weird, but it's just still worth it in the end, man.
Y'all do you.
Yeah, bro, what? It's better than something pudding. It was mentioned in the Scooby-Doo Incorporated series. It's Freddy's yeah, they're gonna give me a something pudding. That's why they dragged him in pudding. Booty fuck him. It's an actual thing that was mentioned in the Scooby-Doo Incorporated.
They
drench him in pudding.
And then they just you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right where I want it to be.
Right where you want.
Why are you both
I said don't want it to bend down. No. Yeah. Yeah,
Basically,
someone comes in pudding run.
Yeah.
That's my inspiration.
Also, know what you're getting into before you just openly confess into a relationship. Yeah.
I mean,
If you want to know,
I don't know.
put in the comments.
Put it down in the comments.
Put in the comments what you would do if you found out your girlfriend was a lesbian.
Fuck you.
And then I think the biggest thing right now is wait as long as possible as a virgin. Because the longer you wait, I think the better it'll be in the end.
Unless it's the person that you're meant to be with.
No, marriage.
Dude, for all these like.
Bro, the honeymoon would be so lit.
No. I mean like it's because I've seen a couple that are like just super open about their not open to others, but like they open that they are dating, like
What's
and they
wrong with that?
yeah, nothing, and basically it just seems that they are meant to be together.
Well,
that means like if you know it's the one, and like you're not even that age close to like marriage, literally don't care.
Well, I know this couple.
You just need to make that commitment to know that that's the person you want to be with for the rest of your life.
I know this couple who started dating in 4th grade. They waited till their honeymoon. And they now have 17 grandchildren.
17 grandchildren.
Yeah. They waited till their honeymoon. They started at 14. Well, they started at 4th grade.
What do you mean?
They
Like,
dated at 4th grade.
So how many kids?
Wait, so when did they get
Quite a
married?
few. What? In their 20s? Who about?
Okay,
4th
so
grade.
how many kids do they have?
That'd be so worth it though. Like
I
I would
think
really want to get married early because I would not want to be an old dad.
Yeah, my dad was an old dad. Now he's like 56. He won't be over retired till he's 60.
And then you'll be like, I mean, your brother's like almost going into college, so technically, well, no,
He's supposed to be, baby.
he's old enough.
Yeah, he's old enough to go to college
Like
if he wants
18,
to.
right?
He's taking a year off.
You can go to college whenever you want.
Yeah, actually, technically you can. You just have
It
to.
literally does not matter how old you are.
You just have to have a high school degree, but our high school won't let us graduate early. It's dumb. I should literally my senior year, almost my entire schedule.
If you know what Rainbow Six Siege is, Mute Megamind. He literally like graduated high school at the age of 13, went to high school at age 15, or not high school, went to his university at 15, and he graduated. I think it was like with a bachelor degree at like 17.
And he made the music, so.
Yeah, smart. He is the smartest. Like, I think he's like 25 in the Rainbow games. He legitimately is like every single smartest man in the world put together.
Yeah. Well, that's not that many right now.
Yeah, I mean like back then.
All right, way back when? Way back in 1983.
He just uses 100% of his brain.
No, we use like 90% of our brain. He uses 13% of his brain, my guy. Well,
How much percent of brain do we use?
like 9.